A very good morning, Mark here. It is Thursday, February the 5th, 7:46 a.m. Eastern, 12:46 p.m. GMT, going into the US Open. And let's have a look how the market's shaping up this morning. US dollar index, bit of a green candlestick. I'm saying a bit because it was all the way up to resistance at 97.78. I've got support at 97.49, but you can see the wick at the top of the candle. So there has been a turnaround or push down from this intraday resistance. Let's zoom in on the hourly. And there you can see it happening right now. US dollar index being sold off going into the US Open. We'll see whether that continues or uh, and comes down to test this support at 97.49 or lower, or if buyers do step in and look back up at the resistance at the 97.78. So strong US dollar to start through the Asian and European session. But now, late in the European session and going into the US session, looks like US dollar is giving up some of those gains. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. And there you can see sell-off happening right now. We're looking at the futures market, good hour and a half until Wall Street opens up. And I'm going to move my support all the way down here to 6,856. I've got resistance at 6,934. So sellers certainly in control, broken at, for now, have broken below my ascending trend line, broken below yesterday's low. We'll see whether that does continue or if we're going to get a turnaround and buyers do step in once the US session is now underway and Wall Street opens up. But certainly for now, no demand for S&P, for equities, and being sold off going into the US Open. And downtrend very much intact, lower highs, lower lows for the past 3 days at this point. Let's have a look at gold. Looks to be fighting its way back. We had a strong sell-off at the start of the Asian session last night, which continued through the European session. You can see that my resistance sitting at 5,023. Buyers weren't able to maintain above that 5,000 level at the start of the new trading day, all the way down to support at 4,788. Looks like a wick at the bottom here, so buyers have stepped in, attempted, they did step in, you can see that during the European session, unable to maintain, didn't get back to the 5,000 level. And for now, sellers again looking to push down and test this support below 4,800. Looks like buyers are trying to regain that 5,000 level, but certainly bearish still at this point. And when we look at the daily, downtrend very much in place still. Let's have a look at Brent oil. And their gap lower to start after yesterday's push higher, opened today's trading at 68.44. I've got resistance 68.94. I've got support at 67.76. Hang around the middle of yesterday's range for now. Around that $68 level, buyers will look to test break above this resistance. Sellers looking back down at the 67 level. I think a lot of the performance of oil today, again, will depend on the rhetoric we hear out of the White House. Bitcoin, the sell-off picked up steam, continuing. I've got resistance at 73,000, and I now have support below 70,000, sitting at 69,100. The strong sell-off continues, lower highs, lower lows, clearly lack of demand for Bitcoin at this point. We'll see whether this can continue or whether the 69 level, close to that 70,000 level, is a level that buyers want to guard, protect, and if buyers do step in, but no sign of that as yet, no demand for Bitcoin, and the selling does continue. The lows we're seeing, lows that we haven't seen in over 14 months. If I scroll back, I'm on the daily chart for now, but you can see how way back it's November 2024 is the last time we saw these kind of levels. So very strong downtrend in place. We'll see whether that can continue or whether buyers can bounce up off these levels. Good trading, keep that discipline. Certainly a lot of activity going into the US session, and I'll see you at the end of day.